Hello and welcome to this MicroFocus ZENworks Service Desk video tutorial discussing how to migrate from version 7.5 Appliance to version 8.0 Appliance using the in-place migration method. Some of the things discussed in this presentation will be upgrade strategies, pre-upgrade and backup tasks. We'll have the upgrade tasks, the restore tasks, and the post-upgrade tasks discussed. We'll talk a little bit about the system requirements and how they've evolved over the versions. We'll show you the Appliance Administration Console. We'll give you an appliance migration demonstration going from 7.5 to 8.0. And then some debug and login information, resources, and tips. Upgrade strategies. MicroFocus ZENworks Service Desk version 8.0 supports the appliance model only. Upgrades are either N-1 or N-2 version increments, meaning only the last version or the last two versions can be migrated directly to version 8.0, which would be version 7.5 and version 7.4. If you have an older version, you'll need to do multiple steps. Other upgrade strategies are the system files and database schema are upgraded with each upgrade iteration, and the VM appliances have embedded databases pre-configured. So you can configure using the internal database, or you can configure an external database. Upgrade process. We'll be going from version 7.5 appliance to version 8.0 appliance. And the upgrade method is side-by-side or in place. The in place was added in January 2019 as a new option, implemented through the online updates. Upgrade strategy reminders. Be sure to verify all checksums on downloaded files for those VMs or any files that come down. Verify time sync between servers in the database, and that your disk space and database space is sufficient for doing an upgrade. Be sure to leave the database running while you're doing the upgrade. It has to update the schema. Verify the servers are on the same subnets. Remember that the file directory structure changes between some versions, going back from 7.0, 7.1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. As it's evolved, it's changed to the Common Appliance Framework, so now it's standardizing on that particular file directory structure. Version 8 requires additional virtual disk VA storage, which you're familiar with if you've done an appliance. Online update registration with activation key from MicroFocus Customer Care Portal. Make sure you have that available during the upgrade, and have a backup plan. Pre-upgrade and backup tasks. Be sure to upgrade your database if it's not supported in version 8.0 before the actual Service Desk upgrade. Identify network configurations and NTP settings. You want to back up Service Desk server and database, or Snapshot when powered down, and copy some system customization files and settings if you have these customized. If you have banners, if you have themes or colors, make sure you get your CSS files. If you have any Tomcat server changes, those would be in the web XML or server XML. And these are where ports and session timeouts have changed. Java changes would be in the servicedesk.server file, where memory modifications reside. And then any certificates you might have. You only need to back up anything that's customized. You don't have to back up all of these. Identify the document screenshots of the working ZENworks Service Desk external configurations. That could be email, ZENworks Configuration Management, any ZRS or AMI, a single sign-on, external things like two-form factor authentication, and so forth. Now let's discuss the upgrade task options, in place and side-by-side, which have their own processes. Remember, version 7.4 has its own process, so see the tutorial video for migrating Service Desk version 7.4 to version 8.0. Version 7.5 has two options, in-place upgrade method and side-by-side upgrade method. And the in-place upgrade method is available because the server OS hasn't changed. So for the in-place upgrade method, you'll find a feature update in the online updates channel for the product upgrade tile. Again, this method is only available if the OS has not changed. After installing the product upgrade tile, you can then upgrade to version 8.0. Remember, if you install the product upgrade tile and it becomes available for the system, and you do not complete the upgrade at that time, the schedules in the online update will take effect and install accordingly. And after that online update, the database schemas need to be upgraded. So Service Desk will be unusable until the schema upgrade is completed. During this process, the online update is automatically registered to the version 8.0 online updates channel. The side-by-side method is what you're probably most familiar with. On the version 7.5, you will need to run a pre-migration script, then copy the VA storage disk to version 8.0, and then power up the version 8.0 to complete the Service Desk application upgrade. Then the schema upgrade is processed, and finally, register the online updates to the version 8.0 channel. Again, each of these have their own backout plan. Upgrade tasks using the in-place method. Again, this method was just released January 2019. This is what we'd be doing in this demonstration. Overview of it is to log into the version 7.5 Service Desk Admin Console and select the Online Updates tile. You have to be registered to the Online Updates channel in order for this to work, and your key is in the Micro Focus Customer Portal. You'll see that it has a red exclamation point on the tile, which means there are patches available to download. Select Needed Patches. Select to install the Service Desk release, which is the Product Upgrade tile, and reboot. Then you'll log into the Service Desk console again and select the new Product Upgrade tile. It should have a red exclamation point, which means there's an upgrade to go to version 8.0. To initiate this, it'll request for you to register for the version 8 online update channel, which uses the same online update channel key as version 7.5. Select the Service Desk release, which is the ZENworks Service Desk version 8.0 Appliance feature in the list, and reboot. Select the Classic ZENworks Service Desk tile to proceed with the database schema upgrade. You'll be verifying the database connection by testing the connection, selecting Upgrade once you have a connection, making sure things are backed up, and then Upgrade to complete. And remember, the customization files will be overwritten during the upgrade, so it's good that you perform that pre-upgrade task. One other thing to note is if you have the product upgrade tile and it has the version 8.0 in it and you haven't manually performed that upgrade, the manual update or automated update schedule for online updates will take effect. Then we'll have some restore tasks. Apply the online updates, re-register version 8.0 if you're doing a side-by-side, reconfigure the original NTP settings, verify restore external system communications, which includes database connection, email configuration, LDAP settings, those basic foundational connections to those services. Then any other services that Service Desk uses like AMI or ZENworks, OpenID, single sign-on. Then if you have external communications like two-form factor or federation connection, make sure that those are working. Then you'll restore customization settings, which is conditional depending if you had any customizations. So if you had banners or color themes that were different, you back them up on the pre-upgrade tasks. Now you can restore those settings. Do not overwrite with those files. Make sure you take the settings out of the XML files and put them in the new version 8.0 XML files. You'll do the same thing with Service Desk Server if you had Java customizations or any session timeout or default port customizations. You'll do the same with those. Take the settings out and apply them to the new version 8.0 server XML or web XML. Then post-upgrade tasks. Upgrade the license if it's changed. Set online update schedules, which is optional. Configure new features like the new end user portal, store option, JoinProxy, etc. Backup and snapshot the version 8 server, database, and components. And then any of those screenshots that you took for your company's documentation, put the new screenshots in place so that you have your documentation as current. The next set of slides are the system requirements depending on your Service Desk version. Remember, you can only go N-1 or N-2 in any one-step upgrade. So we can go from 7.4 or 7.5 to version 8.0. But if we're older than 7.4, we need to do multiple steps. So this set of slides allows us to see what we need to do in order to accommodate getting to version 8.0. This set of slides is also on the cookbooks for reference. This one is a method and strategy and how you can upgrade to version 8.0. This one is a server OS, and you can see what has changed between the different server OSs. Do remember that it is a 64-bit virtual machine, and you want to have a static IP address on the same subnets as the database. You have to have time sync consistent, and there are some display resolution minimums. This is the system requirements for the databases and what is supported between the different versions. This is the system requirements for the hypervisors. You can see that we included Microsoft Hyper-V on version 8.0. This is the system requirements for RAM, disk, and CPU cores as it evolved over the different versions. And this is the system requirements for file customizations and their locations as it evolved over the different versions. The Micro Focus ZENworks Service Desk version 8.0 Administration Console. Once your version 8.0 is installed, the main console will display the URL to go to on port 9443. Once you go to that location and log in on port 9443 to the Service Desk Appliance Administration Console, you log in as SDadmin and you'll see these tiles. These are pretty standard tiles. If you log in as root, you'll get some additional tiles, network, time, storage, and firewall, which allows you to change those settings if necessary on the appliance itself. So let's have a quick walkthrough on Service Desk 7.5 in-place migration. Of course, it's all on an appliance. Here's our Service Desk appliance. If we go to our MSSQL, which holds our database, we can see that it's at version 7.5. And let's go over to our console. And we're going to look in Service Desk, log in. And we can see we have things configured. We have banners up here. We have color changes here under Customize. You can see we have CSS changes here. We have our LDAP. We have ZENworks and Amy. And we've also documented this. So we've created a document that actually shows all of our different settings just for the company's documentation purposes. The database, the licensing, LDAP, both AD and E directory, Amy, ZENworks, and then on the ZENworks E directory, we can see what groups we're configuring and AD groups we're configuring, the ZENworks Service Desk registration to tie in ZENworks, and then the customized banners as well as the CSS file. So that way we can restore those afterwards. And we've actually gone in and we've copied over the CSS files, and you can see by looking in here that one of these is different right here. So the default has been changed. That's the only thing that was changed in this zone. Then you can see we have the custom banners right here, because when we do our upgrade, those will be overwritten with the new code, and then we'll have to put in the settings in that code. We also have the other files too, which haven't been changed in this environment. Let's go ahead and start the upgrade. We're going to log into our admin console as SDadmin. And you can see we have online updates. We're at version 7.5. If we select online updates, we haven't registered yet. So let's go ahead and register in the 7.5 online update channel. We'll register. And again, this is for the online update. We're version 7.5. So it's going to be that channel, not any other version. Which that channel tailors in all the system OS updates and any features. And you can see that we have one update, which is actually a feature. It's a Service Desk release for the product upgrade button. So we're going to go ahead and update now. And it's a real quick RPM to actually display the product update button or tile. Let's go ahead and do OK. We're going to have to reboot after it installs. Okay, 7.5 to 7.5.01, and we're going to do OK. It does require a reboot. It tells you that. And we're pretty much done. We'll go ahead and close this. Notice the reboot needed is in red. We'll go ahead and reboot. And we'll wait a minute for it to come back up. Let's go ahead and refresh this page. We'll go ahead and log in again. Notice that we have an online update, which is the one we just used. Now we have a product upgrade with an exclamation, which means that there's a product upgrade in here. Let's go ahead and select product upgrade. It's going to tell us what the upgrade is, and it's for the Service Desk Appliance 8.0. We're going to have to click Start down below, read the license agreement, and specify an activation key, which is that same activation key you did for the online update channel, except it's going to put us in the version 8.0 online update channel. So let's go ahead and select Start. We're going to accept the license. We're going to go ahead and register again. Register. It's going to unregister us from the version 7.5 and it'll register into the 8.0. Okay, so we're registered. We're going to look and see if we cancel this. We can see we have the Service Desk Appliance 8.0 is available for upgrade. If we leave it at this point and close and don't continue with the upgrade right now, the schedule, whatever schedule is in place, in this case it's weekly, will take effect. And as soon as that schedule comes into play, it'll start the upgrade with this RPM, and then it'll wait for the schema to be upgraded before you can actually start using Service Desk again. So it's advised that you do this all in one clean swoop. So we're going to go ahead and do an update now and take care of it right now. And there it's telling us the packages that need to be upgraded. We'll go ahead and read all of that and agree. Now notice the product upgrade, the exclamation is missing now, and reboot needs to be selected. So we'll go ahead and select reboot needed. And we'll wait for this to finish rebooting. Let's refresh this and log back in as SDadmin. Notice the product upgrade is no longer present and won't be present until we have another update that can be done in place. And again, we'd go into the online update to see that feature install to get the tile up. This is the manual process, so it doesn't surprise you by automatically updating your service desk. At this point, we're going to go ahead and select the class's ZENworks Service Desk because we haven't upgraded the schema yet. We're going to now put in our database information. And we'll test. Let's try. Successfully connected to the database. We'll select Advanced and select Upgrade. And it's going to ask you to make sure you have everything backed up, which we do. We're going to go ahead and select Upgrade to complete the schema upgrade. As you can see, there's a process that it's doing. It's upgrading the schema. It's doing pre-upgrades. It's updating the database schema, CDMB, and it's successfully done to version 8.0. When we hit close, it'll go to our main Service Desk login window. The first thing you'll notice is the colors aren't there and the banners are not present. And let's go ahead and log in. Let's make sure that we're at version 8.0. We can easily tell by going to licenses. And we can see that we have customized, but there's no graphics or anything. So let's go ahead. Remember, we backed up in WinSCP. So let's go ahead and restore some of these. We got banners, custom. We're going to restore that. You can restore the PNGs, that's fine. If we refresh here, you can see the banners start coming in. Now everything else, whenever it's code-based or file-based, we'll need to upgrade the actual code. So when we go to CSS, we're going to go to our CSS scheme. I'll move it over to the side and fill it in. Background was 5. And this background was, this one was fine. This one was, and let's go ahead and hit save. So you can see things have started to change. And once you complete all of them, you should have it back to what the customer and the technicians are used to seeing. Then again, go through each one of these and make sure your connections to the different external systems are working, and you should be good to go. So your version 8, we should be all set to go as far as being version 8. Now we can update our latest features. Service Desk Debug and Logging Locations. Take note of these TIDs, they'll be quite helpful. If you want to set the system into debug mode, look at TID 7017045. And you typically have to restart once you make those changes. So to restart, you can go to the admin console and select the Restart Services button, or you can do the line command systemctl stop, start, or restart Service Desk. Some of the lifetime logs after you put it in debug mode you can reference in TID 7018199. Or you can export via the Service Desk console reports, log, and select export. Also, you can go to the administration console and go under logs. The appliance and schema upgrade will put logs in lifetime/logs. The product upgrade logs are var op novel, VA logs, and the other component logs are var op novel. Make note of the Micro Focus ZENworks Service Desk cookbooks, version 7, 7021281, and version 8, 7023510. These will have everything presented in this slide deck and more, with links to the documentation and other YouTube videos. Some Micro Focus ZENworks Service Desk resources can be the documentation site for version 8.0, the Service Desk public forums, the Service Desk YouTube channel, Service Desk tutorials, which is free tutorials on the Micro Focus site, and the ZENworks Service Desk Ideas portal, where we get some of the best enhancements for our product from you. And here's just a couple of tips. There's a new end user portal tile in the administration console called New ZENworks Service Desk. This gives a new, easier feel for the customers using Service Desk. The classic ZENworks Service Desk is the original one. The URL for the new ZENworks Service Desk points to the ZENworks servers/Service Desk. Customizations for the end user portal is under Setup, Customize, New End User Portal tab. In migrating old Service Desk versions, see the videos on the Micro Focus ZENworks Service Desk YouTube channel. Also, check out the cookbooks for all those links to both videos, references, and documentation. So in summary, we covered the upgrade strategies, the pre-upgrade and backup tasks, upgrade and restore tasks, and some post-upgrade tasks as well. We looked over the system requirements. You could see them throughout the different versions. The appliance administration console, logging in as SD admin and root, gives you a couple of different tiles. The appliance migration demonstrations to version 7.5 to 8.0, and debug logging information, resources, and tips. We hope this clears up some questions and gives a visual of what you can expect when upgrading to Micro Focus ZENworks Service Desk version 8.0 using the in-place migration method. This concludes this training video on migrating of Micro Focus ZENworks Service Desk version 7.5 to version 8.0.